Hey, it's Don. Today we're talking about a whole nother field here, something that we do extremely well with, something you can make a lot of money with as well. But just like in a lot of categories, you've got to have the right tools to be able to profit off of this type of item. So this is part of storage right here, just one of my shelves. It is numbered. I've talked about numbered. This is C3. I've got about, probably 70 reels of 8mm film, Super 8, Standard 8 in here from a couple of purchases. And this is just a small assortment of what we got. I want to say we've probably got close to 600 or 700 reels of film. Most of it hasn't been gone through. We go through them so many at a time. I pulled one out. This is usually what I do. Let's see which direction it's going. And it talks about a trip to California. And what it is a long parade at Pacific Palisades in California. It has a famous movie star shown in it and some really interesting things. Now, the only way you're going to know what's what in this is to literally play these. Half the time I run into these, the actual film itself will be in the wrong case. This is just a case, so you could mix and match the case any way you want. Here's another one, another size. I've got a smaller one on here. This is actually a scanner for these. They work very nicely. Now it'll do large reels like the 7-inch one here, and it's about 20 some odd minutes or so on this, it looks like here. Maybe a hair more. It looks like it's pretty darn full. I spent the time to do this. Now that's one of those things I hear a lot of people saying, well, that's going to take you forever. The scanners to do these is what you want. You want a scanner, and I have a couple decent ones. We also have a couple projectors as well as some sound projectors. With this scanner, it only does the actual photos. And what it does, in fact, let's just show you real quickly here. This is, I don't even know the brand. It's a Magnasonic Super 8. And I got this off of Walmart, actually. I've had it for quite some time. I think this is an older one. The older ones, at least the ones that I've seen, and you can see I've used it a lot. It's got some dirt and stuff there. The older ones will do 7-inch reels. The newer ones that I've seen only do 5. So make sure you get one that does the large reel. And it actually came with a take-up reel, too. But once you feed in the film in here, it's just a matter, as long as it's all lined up, and if it's not lined up on here, you can just change how you want it to do here. So you can frame adjust, and that's all there is. And with the frame adjust, you can go up on the picture, down in the picture, left, right. You can shrink it, you can enlarge it. So if it's not right, you can manually adjust it completely. It also has a sharpening mode in here too, which will sharpen the image. In fact, let's show you this. This is the frame adjustment. So it's going to go ahead and figure out where it should be best at. It should line it up by the way the sprockets are done. And you have to make sure that you're setting it for 8 or Super 8 too. This is a standard 8. This is an early one. This one's from the 1950s, the one that's in here. Once you get everything set, and again, you can move it. You can see it shrinking right there. Hopefully you can see that. And then you can move it left to right, right to left. And then you can go up or down on it too. So just depending on how it's set up. So you can get almost any film reel in sync right where it needs to be doing this. We're going to go back out to menu. Now what I do with film, and I do it with all the film, is I go ahead and while I'm doing something else, I'll set up a reel to go and just let it run. So we do 1 or so a day, and that's about average. So 600-700 reels of film is going to take 600 or 700 days minimum. So it's like a 2-year thing. But all we need to do is sell 1 out of each lot, and we almost always get our money back on these. Let's just show you how to start this too. So you got to know the size of the reel. This is a 5-incher right here. So that's 7 minutes. So we can just pop down to there. Do not move the film. It's going to do everything else. We've got it set up to go on the reel over here, and it does literally everything else. So I set this down on a table, I walk away, and I do my thing. If for any reason there's a bad spot in the film where this jams up, which it could do, in a long reel like this one here, it might take 3 hours or better to do every single frame. What it's doing is taking a photo, a scan of every single frame of the film, one by one, by one, by one, by one, by one, by one. And it's not super fast, but it does the best quality you'll run into. It's far better than trying to project it and then get a copy that way. This is directly off the film. Now, if there's something wrong with the film, there's obviously going to be something wrong with the actual images you get off here. You can at least get enough to tell what's going on. You can rewind it too. You'll have to flip things around, but it does all the essentials of anything else. I'll have a link to this down below in the description box for someone who may be interested. Now, this is fairly hefty in price. If you are not into film, you don't enjoy it, you don't like looking at it, you've got no other use for it, I don't know if you'd want to mess with this, because this is over $300 shipped. There's versions of these that cost $1,000. There's versions of these for, say, 16 millimeter that can be $10,000. And all it does is take one photo of each frame, one by one by one by one. Now, we personally don't buy film unless I intend to go ahead and play it, to do something with it. So to me, it's historical. Now, I'm going to show you some really cool images from that reel I showed you at the beginning, the main 20-minute reel there. We've already done it on this one here. I've got a lot of clips to show you. Really cool stuff in here. Give you an idea on value. The location, just like anything else that I do, like California items. California items will go for more than most other items that I sell. So 8mm film of a parade from Pacific Palisades showing Long Beach businesses and things like that. That's going to be huge. There's some political tie-ins, as you saw in it as well. A movie star, a Crazy Cars. And that's just a few pieces from the film itself. I'm not showing you the whole thing because it's 20 minutes long of that. But reels like that can go for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. We've sold one small single reel before for over $500. And it was in a lot that we paid like 40 or 50 bucks for the whole thing. And that came with the projector. Projector had a bad bulb. I didn't get much out of it. Wasn't worth messing with. Needed a belt and some other things. So we didn't get anything out of the projector, but one reel out of there sold for some buku bucks. And that reel sold because it was New York City in the 1940s in color with neon lights just everywhere. It was like my best sale of that sort of thing. We've sold some other ones for hundreds and hundreds before. I just sold an 8mm film just the other day. I think I put out a clip on that one, the Nutcracker. It's a Soviet Union 8mm 2 reel. So there's a lot of money in this sort of thing. You've got to be able to display it properly, though, to get the most money. When you scan it like this, you can take screen grabs of anything in there and load up an image. And as I said, you're not just sitting there minding this machine. You turn it on, you let it do its thing, and that's it. And if the film is in good condition, it's some nice quality film, it's just going to do its thing and you won't have to worry about it. Now, if some of the footage isn't super great, maybe there's a splice or something bad, it may hang up in here and you'll have to fix it. Basically, just advance it past the spot and restart it back over, and that is it. There's nothing to even setting up the film in here. It's actually got lines telling you where everything wraps and the whole works around it. To rewind it, you just switch the reels, hit the fast forward button, and boom, it's going through the whole spiel here. So this is a super cool device. We've had one for quite some time. You can make a lot of money digging into stuff like this if you've got the right tools. Now here's some of the footage just to give you an idea on the variety. Just in this one reel, this is just one single reel. I've just grabbed a few of the random shots. I didn't specifically pick anything cool or not. There's like 20 minutes of this kind of content throughout this roll of film here. So just one roll of film, I could cut this all up into different segments and sell them individually as well. There are collectors of this stuff. Native American, there's Tammy Shanter's Caledonian pipe band, Scottish, a famous movie star from the silent film age. Rudolph Valentino knocked him off the top spot. Bushman here. He's well known, very, very well known. Look these folks up. Wild cars, crazy things going on, right down in middle of downtown. Again, this is Pacific Palisades near Long Beach. Lots of great content, lots of great things going on in this. This is what makes it valuable. The end scene here, skateboarding in the 1960s, that's hot too. Well, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
This calls for the sour stripe.
Help! Help!
A quick change and beech-nut stripes again. New beech-nut sour stripes gum. 5 fruit flavors in every pack.
New Sour Stripes gum hangs on to flavor. How does that stripe you?
Sour!
Who was that striped man anyway?
I don't know, but he left this.
Buy beech-nut. Buy gum.